I'm back. And I've missed a lot, haven't I? Oh, no. Well, a lot's happened while I've been away, and I've seen a lot of the comments about the Struthio rework, so let's go ahead and talk about everything on the public test branch that's came while I've been away, and there's quite a bit to talk about. The Struthiomimus TLC is now available on the public test branch, and this, honestly, I gotta say, is absolutely incredible. There are a lot of new abilities here, and a lot of other cool stuff to explore with this dinosaur. The first thing, of course, is to talk about the brand new model rework. This is the new model for Struthiomimus. It's really well made, really well put together, and it looks gorgeous. You've got the male and the female right there. Colours have substantially changed from male to female. You've got the species. You've got Altus, which is plus 50% acceleration speed. You've got Plumus, which is plus 10% stamina recovery, which obviously is slightly thicker. I mean, the best way to notice this dinosaur, apart from the other one, is it's just slightly chunkier. Then after that, you've got Calvitius, which is the naked one, which is plus 5% run speed. It actually has fluff on its arms. However, everywhere else, it does not. So that's the best and most obvious one there in my eyes. Of course, now let's showcase this thing in game, but I want to showcase the skins first. The Struthio gets a lot of cool skin updates, and let's just go through them all on the new model. So you got this one, which is the default skin right here. It is a gorgeous skin. It is the standard skin. You know and love it. Then you get the Falcon skin, which honestly looks so nice on the new model. The colours really are brought out more now in my eyes. And this one is the Bazaar skin. Not a skin I see that often, actually. Then you got the Sparrow, another really nice skin. As I said, a lot of these look so much better on the new model, and it's probably because, well, the textures have been updated. You could get a lot more detail in it now. Then you got Shoreline after the Backer skin, Red Stripe. Then you get the Flaxen, which is another really nicely put together skin on the new model. You can really show the new details on that now. And you've got the Flint skin next. Then you have the Fox skin, the Budgie skin. These are two that were originally showcased and completely overhauled. Same with the default skin. You've got the Stark skin. And finally, you have the Albino and the Melanistic skins. And that's all the skins on the new Struthiomimus. Now, I want to quickly showcase the baby Struthiomimus model. And that's really all I want to showcase here, because this is just the model rework. And this is the baby. And it looks absolutely adorable. It's so much cuter than the original baby Struthio that was, you know, in the game. And yeah, this thing is so cute. It runs so much like an ostrich now, which is what the developers have completely said they're doing with this rework animation wise. Of course, the only attack that you get is your kick attack, and that is that. Of course, though, yeah, this thing is super cute. When it comes to abilities, Struthio gets so many new abilities. They listed it out and there's so many here. But the biggest thing here is that this has a dedicated category for passive abilities. Usually that's where the common slot is, which you can see with Ramphorhynchus, it's just a slot without a name. Here is the first time you get passives, and obviously it's because it doesn't have a head attack either. So what are all these passives? You get 3, and these are all unlocked by default, I believe. You've got double jump, which allows you to jump again mid-air, only usable for the first 2 seconds after leaving the ground, which is the first time we have seen a double jump in the game. Then you get feathery hide, which builds up 1 stack of feathery hide every 30 seconds for a maximum of 5. This reduces incoming damage by 10% per active stack, so up to 50% there. Incoming attacks will remove 1 stack per hit, and I'm pretty sure when you do an attack as well, it removes 1 of the stacks too. I'm not too sure. Next, you've got On Alert, and this one I really want to showcase somehow, but it is a standstill for 10 seconds to look around a large area range. Sounds or movement by other players will appear in a radius on the player's UI, showing what sound is made and in which direction, which I really want to see how that works. Then you've got your senses. You've got Herbivore Parade, which gains 4% increased stamina recovery that applies to each Kentrosaurus, Struthio, Kentro, Pachycephalosaurus in the group up to 10 stacks within 75 meters. If you have Herbivore Parade equipped, you gain a stack for each Campto, Struthio, Kentro, or Patchy. If not, you gain a stack for each member with the ability, which is cool. You get Lone Survivor, this is standard, and you get Scout, which increases speed by 10% when in a group, which is really nice. Next, you've got your front limb, which is Slipstream. This increases the movement speed of all players trotting or sprinting behind you while this ability is active. This cancels when you are in combat, so this is a passive ability. Ideally, it should have been in the passive slot, but I mean, that's that. Sadly, you don't do anything with your claws. You know, you've got big hands as a Struthio. I was surprised like you didn't get a low damage claw swipe in a sense. For metabolism, you get the standard forager, herbivore, and insectivore. It's the same as before. For your hide, you get hollow bones, which reduces jumping cost by 20%. Display feathers, which increases the duration of your calls by 20%, and thick hide, which increases health recovery by 50%. Next, you get your legs. You get braced legs, which ignores uphill movement speed or increases speed when moving downhill by 10% and reduces fall damage by 10%. It's the same as the new Lambio rework gets, and I'm pretty sure maybe other dinosaurs will get this in the future. You get long distance runner next, and then strong legs, which these are standard abilities across the game. For your back limb, you get your kick attack, which is a one that causes medium damage. You get kick barrage, which is new, which is a quick attack that increases in power with each hit, which is kind of like the claw barrage that Suko gets, or some of the other dinosaurs get this in the form of a bite attack as well. Then you get leap, which increases jump height and decreases fall damage. If you're going to combo leap, maybe with braced legs, it will be really good at reducing fall damage. And then when it comes to calls, you have the same thing as Lambiosaurus. You have 6 calls split into 2 categories. You've got combat calls and survival calls. With the combat calls, you get Safeguard, which increases armor by 5% for all group members within 15 meters for 15 seconds. Tantrum, which increases attack damage by 5% for all group members within 15 meters for 15 seconds. Swift Tempo, which decreases ability cooldowns by 25% for all group members within 15 meters for 2 seconds. Then you get your survival calls. You get Hustle, standard one, you already had that before. You get Dust Off, which dusts off group members behind you, reducing sprinting stamina drain by 50% for 1 minute. Then you get Rat Out, which is a call that makes any creature within 20 meters perform a broadcast call. Same as what Ramphrinkus has. Why are so many dinosaurs getting this very annoying ability? I have no clue, but I mean, fair play. It's another one that is going to be annoying to deal with. Another thing I want to point out, Struthio has a brand new sleeping animation, right? Look at that! It's so cute! Oh, that's really cool. It's like a swan in a sense, and then when you sit it up and it stands back up, like that. And this is the new sitting down animation as well for our beautiful Struthiomimus. When it comes to the attacks, obviously you get your standard attack, which is your kick, but you also get your kick barrage, which by the looks of it can only be done while you are running. And this is what it looks like right there. The other stuff you get are your combat calls, and these are the animations for the combat call. You also get the Slipstream ability, which looks like it can only be done while walking, but that is that. That essentially speeds up your group members while that ability is ongoing, and it looks like it's one of those ones that can kind of constantly loops and keeps going until you tell it to stop by just clicking it again. Now this is the kick attack, the standard kick attack, and yeah, it does 40 damage to the Struthiomimus. Now it's Kick Barrage that does the most damage here, of course. This gets all the way up to, I believe, 66 damage, but you can only do it while sprinting. Funnily enough, if you're holding sprint while pretty much inside a dinosaur, you can just spam the attack like this, and then you kill the Struthio. But at max, when it's at 5 hits, it does 66 damage. It starts at 6, then 18, and then doubles every single time, or doesn't double. It goes from 6, 18, 30, 42, 54, 66. That's how it does it. That's how it works. It's pretty good. It's a good ability. Now, the other ability I want to showcase is actually the one that showcases movement for dinosaurs. So let's go ahead and bring a dinosaur in and showcase that off. So the ability is called On Alert, and what I'm going to do really quickly, I'm just going to turn away from the Hatzegopteryx because I want to see how this is. Now, of course, I'm not sure how this is going to work. I have a Hatzy, and I have it on my laptop right here. So, let's give it a go. Let's apply the ability. And now that is the radius in which I'm walking around in. Let's start moving as my hats, and it can show you a little arrow which showcases the movement and if the creature's getting closer and closer and how close it is to you. Obviously, the furthest out of the circle, the further away it is to you. Now, I'm going to get as far away as I can from it before it goes out the circle. The arrow gets a lot smaller. So this is right on the boundary of the circle, where I am right here. And that is right over there, if you can see it. Like right, I don't know how to show that, but yeah, it's quite far away. Now the other thing I want to showcase is that this gets a double jump. Your standard jump is this, but then you could do this and double jump, which allows you to go even further than your standard jump, and that is pretty cool. The first dinosaur in the game to get the double jump. Now, what do you guys think about that new ability, the alert one and the double jump? What do you guys think about them? The alert one I think is going to be good because I think modders will now introduce scent to the game via that system, because it seems like it could work. It's like a radar. It's really cool. Anyways, that's the Struthio TLC. Let's move into the next stuff. Numerous points of interest have been reworked on the Gondwar map. Now, the biggest one to me is the Dried Lake rework, because this one has been massively and more noticeably overhauled compared to all the other areas, and a lot of these changes are to tie into the next point, which is nests. However, Dried Lake went from looking like a flat wasteland to a flat wasteland with stuff going on, like bones, rock formations, and a lot of nests, and I'll talk about them in a moment. Additionally, the texture on the floor has changed as well, from a brown lake bed to light greys to coincide with the changes to the area. Fly's Bluff also got some reworks too. The more noticeable change to me is that its ground textures have been changed slightly, and the tint has changed slightly as well. The same goes for Burned Forest, which features some slight changes to the area too, mainly in accommodation for the new nests that are coming to the area, and the other areas of the map. There's quite a few that have been reworked, but that's mainly to do with nests, and I haven't been able to find all of them yet. So I'm doing a stream tomorrow where I'm going to be looking through that and having a gander at seeing at what has changed on the map. Anyways, the next thing, and the most important thing aside from the Struthio rework we just mentioned, this is the introduction of nests. There have been a fair few areas dotted around the map away from the Impact Crater and Grand Plains region that have a lot of nests now, and this is on the public test branch of the game. These are on Pandora and Gondwar, and here are some of the specific ones that I have found. I'll do a full coverage of every single one that I've been able to find in a future video, but at first there was Dried Lake, and this was the one that I was first noticed. There's 14 nests in this area. These look more like carnivore nests, using more grey gravel base, bones, and a classic nest filling, of course. And then Dried Lake isn't the only place either on Gondwar to get it as well. Burned Forest gets some larger, flatter, more rounded nests. Fly's Bluff also gets some nests as well. Now, I couldn't find them on the main islands of Fly's Bluff, but on the furthest, like the closest to the shore island, there is a lot more, and they can quite easily be disguised as rocks. There's other places as well, like Whistling Columns and other areas of the map, and as I've said, I'm going to go over all of them in a future video, because honestly, I haven't found them all just yet. However, of course, if I have missed any on Gondwar, let me know in the comments and I'll put them in a full video. It's not the only map that has gotten these changes. Pandora also has nests featured on them as well. These are in and around the Deep Lake region, and this is just west of the lake in the grassland area, but it's absolutely gorgeous. There are 9 large nests. These are the same ones that are on the Whistling Columns map, and it looks absolutely fantastic. I'm going to showcase a little cinematic of this as well, like I did with the other stuff. So let me know what you think about these nests. There's a lot of questions to be asked here. Could this be for players? Could it be for AI? Will we still be able to build nests, or will we have that option at all? Who knows, but there is a lot to ask here. And the final thing that was showcased on the public test branch is the new introduction of directional attacks. Now, this is only available on one dinosaur at the moment. However, the developers have implemented the foundations for these directional attacks to the game. So, what exactly is this? Well, essentially looking left and looking right will make your attack aim in that direction. If you look straight ahead or behind, it will do the classic left to right sweep that it normally does anyways. Only one dinosaur has this at the moment, and that is Kentrosaurus. So here's a quick glimpse. So the first one, let's look left, and then the second one, let's look right, and now let's showcase it again, looking forward and behind. The forward and behind is exactly the same, so do bear that in mind. But that is the introduction of directional attacks now in the public test branch. Of course, with the public test branch update, there is a lot here in terms of bug fixes as well, but I wanted to talk about mainly the changes to the map and the game itself. The big changes: Struthio, nests, points of interest reworks, and directional attacks. There's some other stuff that I haven't mentioned in this video because they're not in the game just yet, but I'll talk about them in a future video. However, I'm going to cover nests more in depth in a next video. So let me know your thoughts about this. I am now back, so yes, the badgering about Struthio rework paid off, I guess. I've returned. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a great day. Peace.